Welcome to 10 Minutes With. It's a podcast for people who want to listen to podcasts, but don't have all day. We've got a quick chat with someone you might be interested in learning more about in about 10 minutes. We're getting to know one of your favorite family life radio hosts. Tim Powers is someone I would classify as wise beyond his years. He's a good friend, a trustworthy spouse, and a solid dad. But he also believes in Bigfoot. When did you realize you were wise? Was it when you started wearing sweaters with patches on the elbows?
I have a special connection in my life to the church lady. And I say church lady as an archetype because I think of the gray-haired lady at church. And I mean, there have been so many wonderful saints that the Lord has used in this way in my life. In the churches I've grown up in and the churches I've been blessed to be a part of, who have encouraging words for me and who have enjoyed and been encouraged by conversations with me, apparently. And when I see people who I look up to and who I see their wisdom, and I think of them as one of God's great gift to his people. And for me, that is especially those grandmother types or mother types. I think, Lord, thank you that you can let somebody like that be encouraged by me, because I know how much wisdom you've given them. So by extension, if they consider me wise or encouraging or a blessing, then I know it must be true, because I know church lady doesn't lie. And I know God has given her special gifts.
I feel like that should be a t-shirt. Church lady doesn't lie. And as much as I appreciate grammar, I think it should be church lady don't lie.
It so should be church lady don't lie. And she wouldn't like the shirt too much. She'd say, it should say doesn't.
There's a smile on your face right now, but in the big picture scheme of life, what is the thing that makes you smile the quickest?
I was really close to saying my daughters smiling and my little girls laughing. They do that a lot because they are just joyful 3.5 and 1.5-year-olds. And it's really hard to beat what that does to your heart as a dad, when you get to see happy little girls and hear their squeals and they run to you. They do all the things you hope that daughters will do. But I think what's got to bring the most undeniable smile is hearing my wife's real laugh. It's special to hear it, because we all know we each have like our courtesy laughs or our fun laughs, our maybe our like kind of like just I looked at a meme laugh. But then there's like a laugh that I hear from my wife when she's with her friends or with her family, or it's just us. And something really gets her and she does it. There's no pretense. She just laughs at it. It brings such a smile to me because I know how hard fought that is. I know how rare even it is to have a moment where, as a tired mom and as a kind of lonely feeling stay-at-home mom, you get to have a moment where you're not even thinking about what it sounds like. You're not worried about all the million things that worry you. You just laugh. So when I hear that from my wife, Trinity, I just I smile along, and then it's just, thank you, Lord. You gave her a moment where she could just enjoy. And that's beautiful to me.
You're such an observer of people, and I'm sure that you've spent a lot of time observing your wife, Trinity. Is there a trait of hers that you would like to grow in yourself?
Did you take this question from my 10 Minutes With conversation with Jesse Gable, co-host
we
Main and Gable?
We do talk. Jesse and I do talk.
All right. No, it's such, I don't mind saying that's a good question, Terese.
You're welcome.
She can see when I'm not being nice to people. And that might sound weird because it's like, Tim, you're the nice guy. But Tim isn't always nice. He's not always gracious when he feels like, I'll stop talking about myself in the third person. That's unsettling. When I feel like I've been slighted, or say I'm on the phone with customer service, or say I'm not getting treated the way I think I deserve to be treated, Trinity can point it out, be like, you weren't very nice to that person. Because she's thinking about how they feel and the job that they're doing, and they're just doing their job.
We're talking with Tim Powers, one of our radio hosts at Family Life. You were sharing about traits your wife has that you would like to grow in yourself.
Trinity asks hard questions. I just observed this past week. We were enjoying a meal with a friend who a few years ago experienced a dramatic health crisis for this friend. And the crisis put them in a medical coma. And this friend has never quite been the same since, they would say. And that's really hard. And I loved to have conversations together with him. We were talking about theology and the kinds of things we like to talk about whenever we get together, this friend and I. I was thinking the hard question, but Trinity asked it because she cares and sees the person. She asked our friend how his recovery's been, how he's feeling. She remembered the problems he was having a couple years ago and says, I remember you saying that recalling details was hard for you. Is that getting any better? I was so glad she asked that because it opened up the most beautiful and vulnerable part of the night that we had together with our dear friend. But it wouldn't have happened if I just kind of casually danced around it by talking about the interests he and I share. Trinity remembered what was uncomfortable, and she wasn't afraid to ask about it because she knew it was the heart of our friendship with this other person. So I want to be brave to ask the hard questions that will maybe be uncomfortable, but they're going to get the whole relationship to a place that's more real and it's better.
You mentioned something about being called out for being unkind to customer service. I have noticed increasingly I've become frustrated with AI customer service. What do you think Jesus would say about AI customer service?
Oh,
I have a feeling that frustrates you. Just knowing you, I think when you're talking to a computer, that must make you crazy.
You know what's crazy is I think about this so much and I have such conflicting feelings about it because I don't want to be a Luddite, meaning somebody who avoids the new technologies because they're new and is stuck doing things the old way. And yet I see something about AI that makes me uncomfortable because it looks like it does the human thing a little too well for me sometimes. I won't say, Terese, that I've never said please to a chatbot. I have. I've said thank you even.
I say thank you to my smart speaker all the time.
You know what I heard?
Terrible.
They said, the big they, whoever they are, to stop saying please and thank you to chatbots because so many people are doing it.
Yeah.
Every response they give, they have to give. Like they can't just not reply. And that's like there's an actual energy cost with that.
Right, like we're ruining the oceans and the forests because we're being polite.
Yeah, it's like the coal is burning more because
Would Jesus say it's okay to be rude to technology?
No, I think he wouldn't because the thing is we can't help but be formed by the ways we imagine. And I think that kids show us this when they play pretend, they're growing in the thing that they're pretending to do. So it's the same reason why Church Lady would warn you not to play violent video games. Because Church Lady's got a great point.
Yes.
It desensitizes you to real violence. And so if I'm going to be rude to ChatGPT, what are the odds that I might start seeing the person on the other side of the drive-through speaker as a chatbot that doesn't need a please and thank you? Well, they do because they woke up that morning and they brushed their teeth, or maybe they didn't brush their teeth. They're like me, in that regard. And so they need your,
Wait,
whatever.
how often do you not brush your teeth? This is the big question.
So the point I want to make, I have never had a cavity and I will stick by that.
Okay.
The point is, I think that we're going to become like the way we pretend. The things we practice are the things that we're going to grow in being just a little bit by little bit. It'll be a slippery slope. Another thing Church Lady would say, but I think she's right. Watch out for those slippery slopes.
Conspiracy theories.
Let's hear it.
What do you think is actually true about Bigfoot?
Oh, the funny thing is, and I'm not sure if how many notes you've compared with your co-host, Jesse, with whom in this building at Family Life, I share a firm knowledge that Sasquatches are real. The thing I heard somebody say once, Terese, is this. All you need for the North American ape, known as Bigfoot, to be reality is for one sighting, one footprint, one account to be true. They might not all be true. Lots of hoaxes out there. But you only need one to be true for such a creature as Bigfoot to exist. And I like to maintain that God's world is pretty big, fairly unexplored. I don't know about you, but I have not been in some of the wildest deeps of the Canadian forests and wilds out there. I like to think that there's a whole lot God made that we haven't discovered yet.
Indeed. Thanks for listening to 10 Minutes With. Did you know Family Life offers a variety of podcasts? Get up to date with Family Life news or enjoy some family time with Family Life kids. There's If That Makes Sense, a Family Life original podcast where they talk about what life is really like as a Christian in your 20s. And Can't Say That on Christian Radio, a podcast of topics we would talk about on the air if we could, and maybe we should. They're all free and on demand at familylife.org. Just click podcast in the radio menu.